Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and the Ripple Swell 2024 registration is closed. And I was looking on here at their speakers, and they've added some speakers that we haven't even talked about yet. Let me go down to right here. They got a guy from Bitstamp. Now they got Nancy Beaton from Uphold. These are the ones that I didn't notice before. And they've got a guy from the Vice President General Manager Crypto at Robinhood and PayPal. It's like, when I look at this swell lineup, it's almost like all the people that appeared to be at odds with each other are now joining forces. Interesting. Listen to this lie.
For supply and demand. So Bitcoin is the only economic entity where the supply is unaffected by the demand.
That's a lie.
So even with gold,
that's a lie, and they know it's a lie. This is part of the Bitcoin marketing program. Look, excuse me. Yeah, Bitcoin has a limited supply, but so do many other digital assets. And this lie that's perpetuated, like Bitcoin's this only asset that has this scarcity, is bullcrap.
Gold, which is $1,800 today, if gold goes to $18,000, there will be a lot more gold mined because mines that are unprofitable will become profitable. And so gold, which accretes today, the production of gold is equal about 1.5% to 2% of the total value per year. That's the same accretion that Bitcoin has currently. But this year, 2022, I think will drop below 1.5% on that. So only 21 million Bitcoin can ever be created or close to it. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin is 100,000 or 20 million, there's only going to be that many of them. So all you have to really believe is that the demand for Bitcoin will grow faster than 1.5%, over the next number of years.
Nope.
And the price inexorably will go up.
What you have to believe is that somehow we're going to stick with the Model T, and no improvements are ever going to be made. And you're just supposed to continue putting your money in the Model T, even as better technologies come along. That's what his premise is. So is Michael Saylor. Now, I went through the same process as Michael Saylor did when I first discovered Bitcoin. The only difference between me and Michael Saylor is I did not say, oh, okay, so Bitcoin was this thing created and there will never be anything better than it. And because they supposedly don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, which I know is a lie now, it brings you to an obvious conclusion, which is Michael Saylor either knows who Satoshi is and that's why he's going all in, or he doesn't know and he's like completely giving up on his fiduciary duties to his investors, and he's investing billions of their dollars in something that he doesn't know who created. He doesn't know if it's a terrorist. He doesn't know if it's North Korea. He doesn't know if they have a plan to dump their supply at some point. There's no way on earth. It's one, and it can't be one. It can only be one or the other. He either knows because he's involved somehow with the government and intelligence and all. Anyway, I started in the same place he did, but I started going, wait a minute. The government is it's gonna be questionable whether they'll allow this to exist. While over here I got this guy not Brad Garlinghouse, but Ripple's talking about working with regulators from the very beginning. Greg Kidd, all those guys. I was like, that makes sense in the adult world I live in, versus this thing that's trying to be down with the government.
Well, Keith, like once I understood Bitcoin, I would go to bed with anxiety at night feeling short because I worried that somebody else would figure out what I'd figured out and they would buy it all and I wouldn't be able to buy anymore. And so once you get something and you look out decade or decades, the only issue is, how do I buy more of it?
Yeah.
Like, that's all we're thinking.
So you should be.
Okay. So, and here's, see, what I did, the first when I first discovered all this, Bitcoin, oh, this is awesome. Then I started thinking, well, if somebody created Bitcoin, then somebody had to have created another one that I could get more of that's cheaper right now. And then I started researching this company called Ripple and this digital asset called XRP. And I started to see patterns, patterns that look like this graphic here. These are all people who have been at Ripple at various times. And I started seeing these patterns of all these people coming from the Treasury, some from the White House, some from Swift, some from all over the place, in high up all over the place, the Fed. And I retweeted this. I said, Ripple is not an ordinary company. XRP is not an ordinary digital asset. Here's a drawing for those who still can't seem to add 2 + 2. This is what drives me crazy when I look at this market. Every other day, there's a new token everybody's talking about. But they don't ever stop and say, well, wait a minute. This token that's associated with this company or whatever that I'm talking about, yeah, there's a green candle and all that. But does it have even 1/1000th of the connections to the powers that be, the people that make things actually happen in this world, that Ripple does or that XRP does? And the answer is always no. These people, I see people latch on to some jackleg project every other day, and the truth is most of them are only doing it because they've scooped up a supply of them for themselves, and now they've got an incentive to tell you about it and all that. That's why I don't go chasing every other day. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to talk about other tokens. Other tokens are important. But in the regulatory environment that we're in right now, no digital asset that you can bring up, none, has legal clarity. Not one, except for XRP. It's the only one, legal clarity. Any other token that's being talked about, including Bitcoin, does not have legal, all caps, clarity. And therefore, anybody buying any of them has an added risk on top of being in a risky industry in itself, has the added risk of this is tomorrow the day that the SEC drops a lawsuit on that token. That's the added risk they have. I'm going to skip that. Mt. Gox pushes repayment plan deadline to October 2025. The trustee overseeing Mt. Gox assets, almost like the powers that be want us to have this major Bitcoin run in late 2024 and then 2025. Now, this is a longer clip of the SEC guy, Mark Ayeda, talking about what a piece of crap. No, he's not talking. That's what he wants to say, but he's not talking about what a piece of crap Gary Gensler is.
Joining me right now is SEC Commissioner Mark Ayeda. Mark, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks for being here.
Well, it's great to be here.
What is the SEC doing regarding crypto?
Well, I think our policies and our approach for the last several years have been just really a disaster for the whole industry. We have been setting this policy through enforcement. We've done nothing to provide guidance on it. And as a result, this is being shaped by the courts. And different courts have ruled different ways. I think what this Wells notice is, and while I won't comment on the specifics of this litigation, the Wells, what has gone on is part of a broader frustration with the fact that we have not provided interpretive guidance as to what you can and cannot do. And if you are involved in some sort of securities offering, how you register, how you get regulated as a broker-dealer, how you get registered as an exchange.
And you say, moving forward, that the SEC needs to return to rationality by ending this war on crypto and ceasing empowering.
I think within the agency, our agenda is directed by the chairman, Gary Gensler. And so the staff all follows his lead. The joke we have is we have about 5,000 employees at the SEC. He controls 4,995. I control 5.
Wow.
Right.
So is that, what's his motivation? Is this all political, or does he actually understand the crypto landscape? Does he actually understand the impact that these regulations around climate change agenda is having?
Well, I won't speak for what Gary thinks as his personal motivations are. He certainly has a perspective. The way I look at it, I've been with the agency for 18 years, done a lot of things involving regulation of securities, and the approach we're taking seems to be the wrong one.
Okay, these guys are milk toast. I would be much more harsh if I was at the SEC. This is the guy who's the CEO of this Bitnomial. This is the one that just sued the SEC. The SEC is determined to overstep their statutory authority and classify XRP futures and other digital assets futures as securities futures. These products have oversight from the CFTC, but the SEC's litigation keeps U.S. traders a step behind global counterparts. I want to bring your attention to what he says down here. We want to introduce U.S. digital asset derivatives beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. In other words, the SEC is cool with Bitcoin and Ethereum. The courts have determined that XRP is not a security in the secondary market transactions, and it's the natural next asset to list. The SEC will not accept their loss, forcing us to bring this suit against them. In other words, the SEC is not enforcing what the court just weighed in on, calling XRP not a security. And I said, not only do the Ethereum founders get a Bill Hinman free pass speech, the SEC then sues Ripple, loses in court, and ignores the judge. ETHgate was always real. In a sane world, it would only be XRP futures being granted. Neither Bitcoin or Ethereum have legal clarity. Not legal clarity. Then Brad Garlinghouse weighs in on this, a new low for a renegade agency many thought couldn't sink further. The SEC now believes it can operate above the law, ignoring a court's ruling that XRP isn't a security. Team Ripple will be watching closely and weighing our options to hold the SEC accountable. Oh, I hope they sue them, because they would win and it'd make Gary Gensler look like an idiot. Stuart Alderati, if this were law school blue book exam, the hypothetical scenario would be a regulatory agency loses in court but still threatens enforcement pressure compliance, raising major constitutional concerns and further compromising the legitimacy of the agency. John Deaton even weighed in. I'm not going to read this first part, but down here he says the SEC is now ignoring reality as well as a court ruling to continue its unethical behavior. Where's the outrage from senators sitting on the banking committee overseeing the SEC? Where's Senator Warren? Wait, I forgot. She doesn't want to place Gary Gensler in a tough spot, her words. As Special Assistant U.S. Attorney, I prosecuted a case of suborning perjury with much less evidence than this. And then John had a message. There's polling out on he and Elizabeth Warren.
Hey everybody, it's John Deaton. Listen, maybe you saw that article about a recent polling that showed that even if the voters learn just a little bit about me, it's a single-digit race between me and Elizabeth Warren. So I need your help. I got to get my ads on TV. Please go to johndeatonforsenate.com and donate whatever you can, $5, $25, $100, or more if you can afford it. We can close this race with your help. johndeatonforsenate.com.
Retire Elizabeth Warren. I agree. Check it out. This is John. You can go and donate to him now. And then finally, XRP Unleashed. They've got their national screening tour. Tickets on sale October 17th on our website. One night special event. Meet the cast and crew. See the documentary first. Participate in live Q&A. Here's all the locations and dates. In daixrp.com, I'll tell you at least one that I'm going to be at. I'm probably going to be at somewhere between 2 and 3. I'll probably tell everybody in DAIXRP which ones. But for now, I'll tell them about one. Also in daixrp.com, you want to know what's on the line here? There's a lot of, I think that there are a lot of roaches that are starting to scurry and starting to really think about scurrying everywhere. Rats jumping off the sinking ship. I'm going to show you what I believe is coming if the good guys can pull this off. And I don't mean Kamala Harris when I say good guys. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.